Hi, my name's Lucy and welcome to Stretches for Indoor and Outdoor Rowers. Today we're going to, well, this week actually I've had lots of questions about knees and stiff knees, particularly after using the indoor rower. So today's session is going to be stretches concentrating on the hip and the knee to really loosen that area off, and then we're going to finish as usual with some glute exercises to strengthen the glutes and prevent injury. So let's get started. We're going to start over on the mat in a standing position. So in this position you need your feet slightly pointed outwards to make sure that we've got a good anatomical alignment at the hips, shoulder width apart, and just take a few moments just to take some nice deep breaths and make sure that you're centered. So does your weight feel the same through the right and the left foot? Take some deep breaths. Reach up with the hands and then push the hips backwards. So from this position here, just slight tilt of the hips backwards, the legs nice and straight. That's so that when we move forward, we're going to move the arms forward, and then when we hinge, we're going to be able to hinge from the hips. So people will have be variously flexible. Some of you at this time will have your knees bent, some of you straight, some of you will be on the hands on the floor. Just find the position that's the most comfortable for you, with those hips back, just nice and relaxed. Take some breaths, just feeling your spine, your lumbar spine decompressing. Some nice deep breaths. Just allow yourself to relax in that position. Shift our weight over onto that right leg, straighten your right knee, bend your left knee, left hand goes to the inside of the right leg, wherever that position is that is comfortable for you. I like to rest my left elbow on my right knee, then right arm goes up in the air and then look up at that right hand. Just make sure that you're pushing out and pushing into that right hip. You should feel those stretches in your lumbar spine and along your hamstrings. So tight hamstrings can cause you knee pain, so that's why we're stretching them out. And then relax down. Again, just take a minute, push those hips back. And you should find that you can get just that little bit further down with your knees nice and straight. Breaths. And we're going to shift the weight over onto that left leg, straighten that knee, bend the right knee, right hand to the inside of the left leg, and then we're going to look up at that left hip. We're going to be pushing out into that left hip, that left knee nice and straight, that left hamstring. Deep breaths. Down to the centre. Again, just relaxing. You should find that you get just that little bit further down. I'm going to slowly roll up. Arms up. Gentle back bend, then forward, shift the hips back, and then down. And we're going to move forward into downward dog. So in downward dog, just getting ourselves centered on the mat, and then you're going to drop your knees into tabletop. Again, just taking a minute to make sure that you're nice and square. Deep breaths. And then you're going to come up to a high kneeling position. So again, again. Make sure you're nice and square. Knees under the shoulders. Nice. Drop your shoulders. Make sure you've got a nice elongated neck. And then we're going to move our right leg out to the side. Okay. So in this position, take your left hand up in the air, and then you're going to move over onto the right hand side. If you can, get that left arm next to your left ear. You should feel this stretching all the way down your left side and the inside of your right thigh. Then we're going to come out, so sit up, stand up nice and tall. Knee comes back in. Just sit back onto your heels. Come down, and we're going to go down into child's pose. And in this pose, just let your shoulders just relax over the top of your knees. Couple of deep breaths. And we're going to come out. And again, go into that nice high kneeling position. This time the left leg goes out to the side, right arm up in the air, and then over to the left side. If you can, this right arm should be right close to your right ear. I haven't got enough shoulder flexibility for that, but hopefully you can. Some nice deep breaths. Again, feeling the stretch down here. Really good stretch this for quadratus, lumborum, and the adductors on your left thigh. Then we're going to come back to the high kneeling position, back onto the heels, and then fall over the front of your knees into child's pose. A couple of really good deep breaths here. As you breathe out, feeling your shoulders fall over the front of your knees. This time when we come up, we're just going to go into a kneeling position. Sitting up nice and tall again. Imagine that you've got a string on the top of your head, pulling your head up to the ceiling, and your shoulders dropping, so that you're elongating your neck. Then we're going to put our hands to the bottom of our back and just support the back as we go up into a high kneeling position. Just push those hips forward. Right hand goes up in the air. Left hand even goes up in the air. Right hand back to the heel. Just checking to see if you're listening. And then look up at your left hand. You should feel the stretch down your thumbs of your thighs now, particularly that left one. Just come out, hands come to the lumbar spine, up tall, sit back on your heels. Take a minute, make sure you're nice and centered again. And again, we're going to put hands to the lumbar spine, up into high kneeling, hips go forwards, right hand goes up in the air, left hand back to heel. And then really pushing up through the middle fingers, pushing down through that left hand. And again, feeling that stretch down the front of the thighs. Hands to the lumbar spine, stand up nice and tall, back onto the heels. Now we're going to come forward into tabletop, push up into downward dog, into high plank, and then down. So from this position, the arms are going to come to the side, you're going to press up into Sphinx. This is where we're going to start a really specific knee stretch. So your quadriceps go over your hip, and well, one of your quadriceps goes over your hip and your knee, so stretch that fully. You need to have a little bit of extension in the lumbar spine. And then we're going to bring the left arm parallel to the mat, and then we're going to reach back for the right foot. So you can press the top of your feet. The most important thing is that your hips stay down. So if that means that you then just have to grab hold of the back of your sock or the back of your shoe, do that. And we're just going to hold this position. So you should now feel this down the front of your thigh. We're going to do a couple of deep breaths here. Relax, arms come back to the Sphinx position. Just for a second here, just to make sure that you're nice and even, so that your weight is even through the hips and even through your elbows and your forearms. And your right hand is going to cross across the front of your body. Left knee bends, left arm goes back. Again, if you can, front of the foot. If not, make sure your hips are pressed into the mat and you just grab the back of your sock or your shoe. And again, we're going to take some nice deep breaths here. You should feel that stretching down the front of your thigh. The hips sink into the mat, into the floor. Then let go. Now we're going to move into our glute activation set. There can be 3 levels. You should just do the level that you feel most comfortable at. They get harder from level 1 to level 3. Level 3 this week is really hard. So we're going to start lying flat on your stomach. Just fold your arms across and just rest your head on your forearms. I'm going to rest my chin on there. Okay, so in this position, just get comfy. Make sure that you've got your legs or your weight evenly distributed. Relax your shoulders, and then you're going to move your right and left legs out to the side alternatively. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really squeezing those glutes as you go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that was level 1. You might feel that that's enough, and if you are, stay there and repeat that. If not, you want to come up into a high plank position. When you go into the high plank, make sure that your shoulders are right over your wrists, so your weight's forward. Like that. Keep those glutes nice and squeezed. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then from this position, we're going to go down into a press-up position. It's called fall-in stick position. So as you go down, you're not going to touch the floor, you're just going to hover slightly above it. Again, level 2 might have been enough for you, and that's fine, stick there, or you may still be on level 1. We're going to go down to level 3. So, getting into high plank, down into the press-up position, and then we're going to go out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then we're going to lower down. Well done. So give these exercises a go for a week. They work best in combination with part 1, but you can do them just on their own, and see how you get on, see if it makes a difference to you. If you've enjoyed the video, like, and do remember to press subscribe so you'll get early notifications of all the videos to come.